Hey, this is Doctor Discomfort, and I was thinking about starting this little talk series for quite some time, but I'm still gonna try and figure out a name for it. It'll be in the title of the video, but um, you know, I just wanted to get on here and talk so you guys can get to know me. I know there's a few YouTubers who will talk and they'll like explain their little opinion on something that's going on. I'll probably do some of that. I'll talk about some of the stuff I'm interested in. I'll talk about like something that came out, like a little review or something. But this is just for me to get online and chat it up. This is a safe space for everyone. If you want to comment something, let me know what you're thinking. Comment. Um, you can debate me in the comments. I don't mind. I don't mind a little friendly debate. Let's have a little civil debate. But I'm gonna be making little short ones, like maybe 15 minutes. But then, if you guys if you guys like hearing me speak about whatever the hell I'm speaking about, I'll start putting the uncut versions. I'm gonna cut a lot of stuff out of this, but you know, let's get into it though. So today's topics, I want to talk about the Marines. So to me, the Marines are like, I don't know, they're like a big dream of mine. Like ever since I was a little kid, I was like, oh man, I'm big and tough. I'm unstoppable. Every kid's dream to be unstoppable. And I was thinking about like how the Marines are like they're the people who go out there and make the change instead of the people who sit there and complain about how they want change and then how it's not happening fast enough. And then when it does happen, they still complain. They're like, oh, it should have happened sooner. Now, I understand there's some things that we do need to change, but the people who go out there and they do it themselves, that always like sat right with me. I'm a fighter. I'm a well, not like a professional fighter, like at spirit. I'm a fighter, and I believe if you want change, how are you gonna get that change if you're not doing it? And if you don't have the position to get that change, then why don't you work your way up to that position? And the military is a really really good place to start that. Like almost all of our former presidents up until I forgot who's the last president that was a veteran or whatnot. But like after we stopped having veteran presidents, our presidencies just started to drop. Don't get me wrong, there were a few good presidents that were like really good change wise, but militia wise, I don't know because you have to have that mindset of being out there and having like the mindset of telling people what to do so you can like understand the strategy and strategize like what's going on out there. But the president, like Joe Biden, I wouldn't say he's the best man. He pulled the Marines out of Afghanistan, got like 13 Marines killed. God bless their souls. But I wouldn't say he's the best president for, especially not him, for militia because I understand Congress does declare war, but if we did have a war, I'm pretty sure he would get us killed most likely. We probably wouldn't listen to him, and for the most part, but like you know, because man, giving away one third of our military equipment to Ukraine, funneling money into Ukraine and Israel, all of our tax money and all that. You know, my opinion. Now we're gonna divulge a little bit. My opinion on that. I feel we gave away a lot of military equipment, not just a little, a lot of it, and we gave away a lot of money. We're still doing it too, and I feel as if I understand the feeling of you need to help this country for the greater good, and then also it's like instead of us going out there and beating up Russia, they're doing it for us. So they're basically doing it in our name or whatever. But like, man, I don't understand why they would continue to give all of our money to them, even though our country is falling apart as we speak. We're already behind because we gave away a lot of our equipment to them, and we're trying to fill that void right now while inflation is going up, gas prices going up, everyone's outraged and complaining as usual, like I am right now. I can't lie, I'm complaining. But, you know, there are those people who will go out there and make that change. And I feel like I'm one of those people. Recently, I had, I enlisted to the military. Yeah. I went to maps and everything. I got to get a waiver for a few things. It's quite some few things, but I gotta get a medical waiver for those, and then hopefully, I'm hoping they accept it. I don't see why they wouldn't. I work out all the time. I'm physically fit. Um, I had a heart condition, but I got a surgery and ablation to get rid of that. So my heart's not stopping me. Nothing's stopping me right now, dude. I'm literally unstoppable right now. Unless you put a bullet through my skull, then I'm unstoppable. But I went to Marine PT every Tuesday and Thursday, even after wrestling practice. Wrestling practice would be from like fucking what 3 to 5, dude. Oh my god, 3 to 5:30, like almost every day. I would go to Marine PT at 6. We'll do our whatever the hell we were doing that day, and I'd be straight, dude. I was losing like 7 pounds a week. I had to eat like 4 meals a day, but you know, it's a lifestyle. I didn't ask for it to be easy. I asked for it to be hard, and I'm content with that. So back to what I was saying. Marines, they're the ones who go out there and make the change. Now, I'm joining and I am going to make a change, whether it's for the greater good or not. I don't really care. I'm there to take orders until I'm giving orders. So I'll take my orders if they send me out somewhere to go kill some people. It's the objective. I can't do anything about it. So I'm gonna do what's best for the team. I don't want to get my people killed. I'm not gonna defy what they tell me to do. I'm gonna go out there, get it done, and we're straight pronto. Awesome, ta-da. So, um, you know, I always look up in life. I'm not looking down. People always try and find the problems in life. I'm always trying to find the greatness and where we can move forward as a people and not like the whole world as a people, not just the country, not our nation, not our state, not our race, not our sexuality, whatever. Now, if you're one of the people who say you're against gun laws and guns are bad, and I think the military's bad because they're going out raping women and children and all this. There are some corrupt people that when they get power, they do resort to stuff like that, but I don't believe that we should take away from the people defending our country because without them, where would we be? Because everyone's thinking, oh, our military's horrible because they go over to other people's land and kill them for their resources, but you're not seeing the full picture. You don't know the full picture. You're hearing the negative about it and you're taking that opinion into your heart. Just like you're listening here right now and listening to me give my opinion on something. You could have your own opinion. There's a difference between looking at the news, watching the news, reading the news. There's the difference between um reading an article on a news subject with someone's opinion or watching a video of someone giving the news and they're giving their opinion on it and then you take that for your own opinion because you're like, oh, they think this, oh, I'm gonna think that because I watch this guy and I like him and I like the way he thinks, but I'm just gonna let him think for me all the time. I understand that that's kind of like how the military is. You let them think for you, you let them do whatever you want. I mean, do whatever they want you to do, but it's not. It's not at the same time because for the greater good, if you were out there in the field and they're telling you to do this, but it's gonna get your people killed, you go out and you make it right. You do something that will save you and benefit you and your team, and you. It could even be sacrificing yourself. Who knows? That's a brave soul right there. Sacrificing yourself for the greater good of your people. Your people that's not even they could be related to you, they couldn't. They could just be your buddy. They couldn't be your buddy, whoever. But going out there and putting your life out on the line for the greater good of people, not just for your team, but the people back at home who are for some reason against veterans nowadays. I don't understand that. I feel like veterans are the most amazing people in the world. I mean, where would we be without them, literally? Because if we didn't have a military, if we didn't have these people fighting for our country and doing the bad stuff that, yes, they do sometimes, but for the greater good, in the grand scheme of things, they do a lot more good than they do bad. But I don't understand how you could disrespect someone like that because of what they think. I understand some people are closed minded and they believe that no disrespect in this, they believe that they should be praised for being different, and they they cheer for equality and they say they want equality, but then when you give it to them, they say they should have special roles, even though it's equal the way it is, because everyone's going to get criticized. That's just part of life. I mean, where would we be without criticism? If someone was just making the same, like, you wouldn't be able to evolve without criticism. There's good criticism and there's bad criticism. I understand the people who will go out of their way to be homophobic, because that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the homophobic people that think the military people are bad because of the way they were raised and how they don't accept the transgender race nowadays. But you got to understand, no hate to the trans people, no hate to the homosexual people, no hate to anybody. You understand? I'm just saying. Um, when you were born, you were you were destined in that body. When you were just a clump of cells in your mother's stomach, and then you started to form, and a soul went into your body. It wasn't about, oh, this soul's a boy or a girl. No, it's a soul. It's genderless, right? But the body that was formed inside of your mother, that came out of your father's testicles, that went inside your mother's egg, and formed whatever gender you were born to be, whatever. You could be fucking born with a penis and a vagina at the same time with boobs, but whatever, whatever gender you were born to be. Um, I feel like if you were to change that just doesn't sit right with me. I'm I think of life in a scientific way, biology, right? Um, I'm not saying that. Listen. I'm not saying that it's wrong to want to have sexual intercourse or be attracted to a different gender, because you could be attracted to anybody. You could be attracted to a dude and be a dude. Like, say if your homie had the best personality ever, he was an amazing guy, and you're like, oh, dude, I love this guy, bro. I love this dude. He's like family. Like, when now, don't call me Sigmund Freud on this. I know we're jumping around a lot, but I want to get out. I want to get this out because I've been thinking about this for a while, and I was thinking about making a show, but I haven't really had time. But my senior year is about to end, so you know. But think about this. Um, where was I? Man. All right, so thinking about it this way, right? Um, your mother is the first loving woman in your life. She treats you like you're on top of the world. She treats you like you're the best person in the world. She loves you so much, so much, and you're like, oh man, I love this woman. She's the best ever. Why wouldn't you want a nourishing, loving, supportive woman in your life? Like, you're gonna go to choose someone like your mom. I'm not saying that you're sexually attracted to your mother, which you by nature are, but in a different way. You're sexually attracted to someone who would be like your mother, not clone of your mother, not saying they look exactly like them, but someone who acts like them. That's just by nature what a man would do. They would choose someone who's nourishing, who they would want to look after their kids like their mother would, who treats them right, and their kids, who would love them unconditionally, who will support them unconditionally. Someone's not gonna choose some random hoe bag, no offense, on the street and just be like, "Oh yeah, you hot, and I like having sex with you, so have my kids and let's get married." It doesn't work like that. So when people say Sigmund Freud was weird because he said, he quite literally said he wanted to have sex with his mother, that's not what he meant. He's a philosopher, right? He's a psychologist. He he was talking about it in a psychological way, but that went over a lot of people's heads. But back to what I was saying, um, you could be in love with the same gender, but I don't know. I because I'm not attracted to men, so I wouldn't be able to tell you how it is for a gay person. That's why I'm hoping that whoever's watching this that is homosexual or that, is transgender or whatever, don't take hate to this because I'm not hating on you. I'm just trying to understand from a psychological point of view. That's why I said it's a free space, a safe space for anybody. You can come to the comments, you can tell me anything you would like. You could email me if you want it more private. I'll link my email. But I don't understand how somebody could be attracted to the same gender. I don't know. It's just I'm not sexually attracted to dudes, so I wouldn't know. But if you are, please explain to me in the um comment section down below what is most attractive about guys to you. And I don't know, just tell me what it's like cuz it's probably just like how you feel sexually attracted to a woman, but you know, when I think of a woman, I think of someone who because I'm not just like going after anybody. I want this special someone. I want that someone who I'm gonna get married with, spend the rest of my life with. I don't just want to date someone for a year and just waste all my time. I wanna put years into this person. I wanna build a foundation on this person. You know what I'm saying? Like build a family tree with this person. So uh, the the outcome is what I'm talking about. So when guys get with guys or girls get with girls, and I don't know, like in the future, do you plan to adopt kids, or do you plan to, like, do a sperm donor, or like if your guy impregnate like someone, and or like don't I don't know if you would I don't know how that would work out. Like, do you just find a random lady on, like, I don't want to say Craigslist, but like just find someone just like, we're a gay couple and we're trying to have a kid. Would you mind um letting me impregnate you and I will pay you a I don't know. That sounds so weird. Let me stop. Let me stop because that might be offensive. I don't know how you do it. I don't know if you adopt kids or if you like donate your sperm and then someone uses it and then gives you their kid. Because when someone donates sperm, they usually get the kid and they're like either lesbian or single, and they just take the sperm and have a baby and keep the baby. So I'm not thinking about like them taking your sperm and then giving you the baby and be like, here, that's just not usually how it plays out. So if you mind explaining in the comments if you are a gay married couple, or if you want to, just if you're ever thinking about it in the future, would you explain how you would do that to me, please? And furthermore on this topic, um, you know, I think about the outcome. So I'm thinking about, I want to have kid with this person. So you can't have a kid with a guy. I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm just saying that you can't have a kid with a guy. So you can't multiply there. And then I think change, like, being attracted to same sex, that's fine. But I just find it really, really like scary that people are cutting off their genitalia or their breast, or injecting their chest with like silicone to get pressed. It's just very scary to me because it's the kids who are doing it too. Like, kids are doing this. Little children who haven't even figured out who they are in life yet. They're doing this, and it's really scary. And then a lot of them have body dysphoria, and they don't like the person they are. And instead of getting help, they see that it's trending to be a transgender, and they'll do that. And then they'll be like, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them are hating the person they are after they become transitioned and it ends up in suicide. And that's very hurtful because it could have been prevented. They could, like, I think it was Texas. I don't know how many other states, but I know Texas. I'm pretty sure it's Texas. They I think it was like 2022, 2023. One of those years. They passed a law saying that you can't become transgender unless you're 18. And I agree with that. I'm not saying everyone can't have their free will and they can't feel how they want to feel inside. I'm just saying have like a grown age, like a grown mind, fully developed. I think 25 should be the age, honestly, because scientists are saying that's when the brain fully develops. I don't know. Maybe we might figure out later in life that it develops at 40 or whatever, but which I doubt. But whatever. Um, I think 25 because then you'll be out of school, you'll be living on your own, maybe in college, I don't know. And you're starting your career and you're like, I like this. I'm starting anew. I'm John or whatever. But deep down I feel like Tracy. And you go and get your surgery done and you're happy and content with it. But as a kid, you're like, I'm just trying to fit in. I don't know where to fit in. I don't feel right being a man or a male. My apologies, because you wouldn't be quite a man yet if you're an adolescent or a kid. And you're like, oh, I feel like I have a lot of female friends or whatever. Or like, um, my father wasn't around because I'm not I'm not attacking anyone here, but it is prevalent in a lot of homosexual and transgender kids to not have parental father figures in their life. And I'm not saying that this it could psychologically lead. I don't know. I haven't looked this up, but I'm just giving my opinion. This is not a fact, but I'm thinking it would psychologically, like, especially if your mother is talking down on your father all the time. You're like, oh man, I hate this. I hate this dude, man. I don't want to grow up to be like him. Because everyone grows up to be like their parents. It happens. But you're like, oh man, I don't want to grow up to be like him. I don't want to be a man at all. He makes me ashamed to be a man if he acts like this, or you're around your mom all the time. I'm not saying that that's the reason, but I'm saying that could be a reason. And you're around your mother all the time. You're like, oh, I'm quite feminine. I do feminine things. I'm around her friends all the time. They're mostly women. And then maybe since you've been so close to a female, you get a lot of female friends, and then they're so girly, and you're like, oh man, huh, yeah, girl, yeah, queen, and you're like, I fit in with these people, but the dudes, I don't really. You have a few male friends, you're like, oh man, they're more of a, I don't know what you would call a dude, guyish, boyish, whatever. They're like, oh, they're doing whatever they're doing. You're like, I don't really fit in there, so maybe I should switch my gender over to a female to fit in with the females. But it's usually about fitting in, and it goes all the way back to our childhood, and that's what's so sad because if you miss some of those key development blocks in your childhood, it could really mess up the person you are in the future. That's why my senior year I'm so happy I chose lifespan development class because I have an amazing teacher and I have she teaches very well, and we've been going over like first we did adolescence. First we started off with we started off the class with like old and retiring, and then we went all the way back to adolescence and we like this we went over the fact, like the stuff that makes a person who they are, like the key blocks, like if your parent isn't there as a kid, how that could affect you, if they're not giving you attention, how that could affect you, how like you not being connected with the world can affect you, like if you, the kids nowadays is what I'm talking about when I say this. They're always on their phones, they have an addiction to their phone. They don't have any connection with the real world anymore. They can't. They get social anxiety, like to just talking to people. They get social anxiety, and they can't keep up a good conversation because they're anxious and they're nervous when they're talking to you because I don't know, for some reason it's just I couldn't tell you, but they like texting all the time. You know, they're so used to texting, not talking. They can't keep up a real conversation for more than like a minute, and they just like stare at you. I've seen this happen. I've had conversations with people like younger people than I am. I'm 18 at this moment, but um younger people than I am, like in my school, like a freshman or a sophomore, sometimes even juniors, man, or sometimes even the people in my class. It's quite sad, but outside, I was outside a lot as a kid. You know, I was outside and I was always like around people, my neighbors, up the street, down the street, right across from me, whatever, and people from school. Like I was always outside hanging out. I had an Xbox, I had a Wii, I had a PlayStation, you know, but I wasn't really on those. I was usually outside biking, skating, whatever, like literally just enjoying the world with people and being in touch with people, and that really helped me develop as a kid. And I spent time with my family. I did, yes. And like I had a loving mother who was there. My father sadly wasn't there in my childhood, but when I did reunite with him when I was 9 years old, I was supposed to live out the rest of my 9 years there, like until I was 18 to move out or whatever, or find out what I wanted to do in life. You know, he was really a bad influence on me, but you know, as a grown man now looking back on my life, I do appreciate him for in I don't know what word I want to use for this. I do appreciate him for inflicting discipline on me, you know, because I wouldn't be the man I am now if it wasn't for him. He helped me realize a lot of things. And then being in the house with him and how he was so mean and abusive, it really made me depressed, but it helped me realize like that my brothers who were living there before me with him, like almost their whole lives, how they got through it, and it really did help me keep my head up, and it helped me build discipline, and it helped me build a strong mind to realize that I'm I'm a strong man. You know, I'm not weak minded. I don't give up easy. I have a high pain tolerance. I won't just tap out at nothing. No, you're gonna have to put up a fight to take me down because that's just the man I am. And most people these days they don't want to be that type of man. They want to be soft and fragile and weak-minded and closed-minded and scared of knowledge and just living their life at the minimum. You know, I don't understand that. But let me let me digress from there. Marines, they're the men who make the difference. And I'm one of those men. I will make a difference. And I hope you enjoyed this talk. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you for joining. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. This was Dr. Discomfort. And it was nice having you on the show today.